Hey guys, it's your boy D Vallo back with some more boxing. Amir Khan has said that he wants to fight the winner of Kell Spence, or Thurman. He says that Kell would lose that fight, so Spence would win it, and that he stylistically, the fight with him and Thurman would be the best, and that he needs to have his tune-up fight in the next couple months, but then he's looking to have a massive fight at the end of the year. But which leads me on to the thing is that Amir Khan talks a lot, but he takes a lot of risks. A lot of risks. I mean, this guy's been out for like 10 months since that fight with Canelo, where he got knocked out cold. Before the Amir Khan knockout, the first time I saw him get knocked out against Danny Garcia, I was like, whoa, that's bad. I mean, that kind of made me think about take boxing a bit more seriously when I saw that knockout. I was like, wow, he's sleeping, he's cold, he's out cold. That guy's not getting up. I was actually worried for his safety. Then, when I see him getting in there with Canelo, I thought, oh my gosh, does this guy have any respect for his own health? You know what I mean? For his own well-being, because after that knockout, he knew that, okay, people, the blueprint was out there. Like Danny Garcia said, he was outboxing him and then he got knocked the fuck out. So, there was a blueprint to beat him, and then what does he go and do? He goes and takes a fight with the biggest puncher of today. And you know what Canelo's like. He goes and you're planning. Amir Khan is blowing up to what did he fight at? Middleweight. And you know Amir Khan is not a natural middleweight, or especially at that time he wasn't a natural middleweight. So he's gonna be a fat middleweight. And you know what Canelo's like. He's big already. So he's gonna be blowing up to like a cruiserweight or something in that fight. You know what I mean? Once he weighs in to make weight, he can blow up loads. You know what I mean? He can go in there like 2 divisions more than what he was supposed to weigh in for. So he's going in there as the bigger man. And I saw a recent article saying, Virgil Hunter saying that Amir Khan, he warned Amir Khan about the fight. He says, you gotta be 100%, stay 100% concentration in there, because one little slip could be lights out. And he knew it was a big risk, but Amir Khan wouldn't listen. He just wanted to take the fight because all he's seen was pound signs. But that's what happens when all you see is pound signs, dollar signs, or whatever. You put your life on the line. He put his chin on the line and got knocked out cold. I mean, that time when I saw him get knocked out by Canelo, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, what the fuck? You mean, because in one way I expected it, but then I just thought to myself, he was outboxing Canelo, and then Canelo just hit him one time, bing, and that was it. The fight was done. Right on the button. His eyes was in the back of his head. He was on the canvas sleeping. I mean, for like, he's got to get like a spot on some kind of records for this, for the worst knockouts. You know what I mean? Especially in the last few years, he would be in the top 10, or maybe even the worst knockout of the last few years. You know what I mean? I mean, Curtis Stevens getting knocked out by David Lemieux, that's up there too. When GGG knocks you out, that's up. His knockouts are there too. But I hear like Amir Khan has the audacity to be talking about fighting Thurman, fighting Brook, and fighting Spence, and saying that Spence is not, he has to set his feet, and Kell Brook has got no doubt got fast punches, but he has to do this and do that. He can't throw power shots all the time. When he throws uppercuts, he's open. Like any of this matters. I'm thinking, what is he really thinking in his head? Because these are all big punchers who have got good percentages and knockouts, and we know that he's susceptible to getting knocked out. So any one of these fights, he could get knocked out. And he's against people that do that on a regular basis in their fights. So if he thinks that, he's saying that Spence will win, Spence has knocked out a lot of his guys, and Spence against Amir Khan, I think he's going to get knocked out because Spence has even said that, I'm always looking for the finish. So Amir Khan could be winning. He could be winning. That's why he's trying to say that stylistically he thinks he will be against Thurman. But even Thurman puts on the gas and knocks people out. Thurman was rocking Danny Garcia, but I don't know what Danny Garcia had in his chin. Danny Garcia has a good chin because he hasn't gone down in a fight, and he didn't go down in that fight. He did get hit with a few hard blows, few hard shots a number of times, but didn't go down. So he's got a good chin. People that have got good chins can get into fights with big punches because they can take a hit to give a hit at least. But Amir Khan can't do that. But in terms of big money fights, then yeah, I actually think if he fought Pacquiao, then that would have been a good fight because in Pacquiao's last fight against Vargas, I didn't. In Pacquiao's last fight, it wasn't the same Pacquiao. Pacquiao's old now and past it. Just let the man retire and just let him chill in the Philippines. They even got statues up in there. Like, in his country, he's a god, you know what I mean? Let him just chill out, you know what I mean? Just relax and do his thing. You know, he's like all president and he's in politics. Let him do his thing now. Let him relax. But he can't because he's got a few more fights to go. But I think if they actually fought, then Amir Khan would be able to outbox him because there's no way that he can. Pacquiao's not really knocking people out anymore. So stylistically, that would be another good fight. I don't know what Amir Khan's talking about stylistically with Keith Thurman. Maybe he means that because in Keith Thurman's fight against Garcia, Thurman was kind of not running, but fighting and then moving, fighting and moving, fighting and moving, not getting into massive exchanges with a big puncher. So Amir Khan's thinking that if he does that kind of fight move with me, I'm going to be able to pick him off all the time and counter him with speed. But the problem with that is that also Thurman knows how to switch it up. He doesn't fight the same all the time. He can go on the front foot and be aggressive. And if that was to happen, then Khan would probably get knocked out. So I see them. In my last video, I was talking about him training and bulking up and mixing the speed with power. So against his warm-up fight, I probably think that he's going to do well in that fight. We're going to watch Amir Khan and we're going to be like, yeah, it's the same Amir Khan, but he's doing a little something, you know what I mean? He might, but then it's a warm-up fight. So we're going to be thinking, yeah, he's going to outbox someone, but then in a big fight, he's going to get knocked out. That's just the thing that we got on our minds because of his history. It's not anything against him in terms of as a businessman. I've already talked about it in my earlier vid. It's just he gets knocked out. You know what I mean? So Amir Khan, he took a big risk fighting Canelo, and then now it's like not only did he get knocked out cold, he broke his right hand and had to have extensive surgery. Now he's gonna have to have a tune-up fight to see if his right hand is working properly. He says it's working on the bags, but he doesn't know how it's gonna be when he hits someone with it. You know what I mean? That's the thing about boxing. You could have one fight which basically ends your career or puts your career into problems, you know. Like, look at that Kell Brook fight when he fought GGG and got his eye socket bust up. I mean, Kell Brook actually was beating, as he puts it, knocking the stuffing out of GGG before he got got his eye socket mashed in. So he actually did some bits before he got his massive wound. But you know what I mean? If you're losing and getting wounded, it's like, oh my god, it's like you're a lamb to the slaughter, you know. And Amir Khan is a very good boxer in terms of his skills. So it's when you see him getting knocked out, it's like, oh man, how are you gonna be in a few years? Because boxing affects you, man. I also think like Curtis Stevens when he woke up, and his mum was there as well, and she looked so shocked, man. How would he go back into the boxing ring again? Like, what would he do? How would he be? You know, how's Amir Khan after this? Because he does some weird things as well. He has kind of like a weird sort of personality. Sometimes he says things which are it's a bit weird, or like when he wants to fight someone. There was that whole thing with him and Floyd Mayweather when he was kind of following him around and all sorts. And I just thought to myself, what is he really doing? Is there something not right? Did Canelo really mess up his brains that bad? I just don't know. But Amir Khan's got his warm-up fight coming up, so make sure you tune into that. But I think he's taking a big risk. He took a big risk to fight Canelo, and he's got his warm-up fight. I hope he wins because he's exciting to watch. And even if he fought any of those big punches, it would be big money fights and very exciting. You know, he's up there. Should have fought Pacquiao, but that fight's not happened. We don't know if it's gonna happen anyway. So yeah, Amir Khan got his warm up fight in the next couple of months. I keep in tune. But what do you guys think? What do you think of Amir Khan? What do you think of his glass chin? What do you think of his decision to fight Canelo? What do you think of his opinion on fighting Brook and Spence? He says that Spence will beat Kell Brook. Do you believe in that? He says that, but it's going to be hard for Spence because he got to get over nerves and rah because he's on home fans of Kell Brook. So what do you think about that? You think where do you think Khan's going to fight? He says that he wants to fight in the UK, but do you think that will happen? Who do you think he's going to fight? It could be another bum, but who? Put it all in the comments and let's talk about it. If you're a fan of Amir Khan, you're going to want him to fight someone. You're not going to want him to get knocked out. So you're going to want him to fight someone that's not really a power puncher, then, isn't it? Because you want to see your guy win. So you don't want, but you want to see him do well. So who do you think he should fight in terms of big fights? So anyway, drop it in the comments. It's your boy D Vallo, and I'm out.